right? So it's not just flowery language. This is a rigorous mathematical application such that any set that includes, for example, the set of all people in this room, it also includes the null set, i.e. all the people who are not in this room, right? And so again, and that's true of every set rather than, again, just being this flowery language where, oh, the nothing is everywhere, woe is me, or some sort of existential garbage.
Which is, and that's going to be crucial for Badiou in a whole series of regards, right? I mean, for one, if the null set is a part of every set, or it belongs to every set, I should say, sorry. If it belongs to every set, then that means that the null set is genuinely generic, and hence is a truth. It's something that wanders, and it also grounds this notion of the errant. It's everywhere, and yet you can't say, there's the null set, I've got it, because it's nothing.
Right? Was it also another way of just saying that, again, going back to the idea of being a pure multiplicity, and being proliferating out through all sets? As being present, like every, I don't know. I guess what the mistake I might be making is I'm putting being in void.
Yeah, no, being is, the void is the proper name of being.
Okay.
So if you want to talk about the proliferation of multiples and so forth, what he would be saying is every one of those multiples, though of course we can't make a set of all the sets, but every one of those multiples includes the null set.
Okay.
So if you want the foundation for all of those is this set right here.
Okay.
Right? That set includes the null set, obviously, there it is, right? And so forth. But every other set every other multiple of multiples, because this itself is a multiple. So any multiple that contains that is a multiple of multiples. And that is a multiple of multiples. It's a multiple of the multiple, well, how does he define it? He doesn't do that until meditation 5. It doesn't. Oh no, it's right here. It's on page 59.
Yeah, because it is like multiple of the multiple and the multiple.
Maybe it's not here. I thought it was here. Yeah, no, it's not until meditation 5 where he actually gives a definition of it.
What is the name?
While you're looking, one caveat is it's also important. It's easy to get carried away, but it's also important to remember it's the name of the void. It is not the void itself.
Right.
It's the name of
the void. It's the name of the void.
So not in contradiction.
Right. It's just making clarification. So yeah, I think that probably does us for meditation 4, if that's made sense.
Sure.
But yeah, this is the set to which nothing belongs, as you said, right? All the cows in the room, or something like that. So, and that is the proper name of being.
I.e. this.
I.e. that. And that can proliferate to eternity. With that, let's do meditation 5, where he's got the actual mark. This mark is called schwa in linguistics, right? So I may call it the schwa, just so that everyone's on the same page. But it's the set theoretical notation for the null set, the void set, the empty set, whatever terms you want to use. So as he points out right at the beginning on page 60, right there are 9 axioms of set theory. Here he's going to deal with 6 of them, 5 of them in relatively short order. Although he takes a little bit longer with the axiom of extensionality, which Greg already gave us. Can I call it good on that? Does anyone need to deal with that anymore?
Just read from the book.
This is the for all gamma is an element of alpha mutually implies gamma is an element of beta. That collectively implies that alpha is equal to beta. Yep.
It's in the middle of page 61.
Yeah, middle of page 61.
And again, the implication is that there's no hierarchy of sets.
No hierarchy whatsoever.
So any set that belongs to another set could, in principle, be the same set.
So that I think is probably relatively clear. The reason he separates that out from the other axioms is he dedicates a whole subsection rather than a subsection to that one. And I think it's just because this establishes the question of the same and the other in such an important way, especially when philosophy is so obsessed today with the question of otherness and sameness. And I think nicely dismisses those questions.
So it's sort of, well, I mean, right, is that the actual language it uses in reference to Plato? Like in terms of that?
Same with the others?
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, just to sort of conceptualize it easily, we could have the set of people who are in this room who are going to Arizona, and the set of people in this room who are leading the lecture, right? And you'll notice the set of those people, right, Joe is an element of both of those sets, and ergo, the set of, those two sets are equal sets.
Actually, he's going to Mexico, but.
I'm sorry.
I'm the null set now.
You are the null set.
So that's a nice intuitive way to put it. So then in part 2, so what, pages 62 through 66, he gets 4 other ones on the table relatively quickly. The power set axiom, the union axiom of union, the axiom of separation just mentioned, but of course we already did in meditation 3, and then the axiom of replacement or substitution. These I think are relatively simple, and in the name of my getting out of here on time, I'll leave that to the question of discussion period you guys have, if you want to work through those in some more detail so that we're all on the same page. But the formulas are right there. On the very bottom of page 62, you have the formula for the axiom of the power set. About a third of the way down 64 for union, and then somewhere it gets to replacement. He never actually gives you. Oh, there wouldn't be an actual mapping for replacement or substitution. It's just a concept. So those are 4 other ones. They will be important further along in the book for obvious reasons. So I'm going to excuse myself from further discussion of those for now. No one's
Bring us home with Aristotle.
actually, but I do want to deal with part 3 of this meditation, which is now the first 5 axioms that we dealt with there, as well as the other 3 that we don't even get on the table in this meditation, are all, and I think this is crucial, they're all universal. They're all universal, meaning that they all have the form for all A, etc. They don't posit any existence. I should say they say this, right? For all A, something implies something else. They don't ever say any kind that there is such an A or anything like that. For all 8, except of the 9 axioms, apart from the one we're about to deal with. The one we're about to deal with is an existential axiom. It posits the existence of something. It begins with there exists A. And that is crucial. Because otherwise, as he said, and remember this question he asked at the end of meditation 3 is, if being can proliferate from this, do we, given the Zermelo-Fraenkel axiom of separation, that's what I was going for, but how do we get that actual point of being from which everything proceeds? The whole of meditation 4 was getting on the table what that's going to be, the nothing, as a pure nomination. But here, now we've got to put that in terms of an actual axiom, and it's an existential axiom. There exists a null set. And so he actually gives you the formal notation for it, which I think is nice because this is what really begins to get us clear that this is not mere wordplay, right? So there exists,
this we're referring to the axiom of the void set.
yes, on page 68. Okay. And it's that simple, right? There exists a B such that there does not exist an A where A is an element of B. There is no A, there is no element in B. B is an empty set. Now to claim that existence, and this I think is a crucial point, is that you cannot posit anything if you're going to, right? Again, part of the point here, again, with our being versus appearance, the thing that we've had on the table here, you can't posit the existence of anything, or you've already fallen under the laws of the one.
Did you say the laws of the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
Just
we
to clarify.
recognize from an ontological position that it's actually oneness as an operation, but yeah, if we were to posit that there were some existent thing, or some given set that had some positive content, we'd be in trouble. But the only thing that the axioms of set theory posit as existent is nothing. It doesn't posit anything. It posits that there is a set of the nothing. And in some sense, it's this axiom that undergirds the very what single relationship of belonging that we're working with. Here, we've got belonging on the table.
And this might be me jumping ahead or being intuitive, but right, going back to that, what we were talking about before you mentioned it, is it the case then that way, when you make that declaration, that it's sort of a declaration of an event, adding to the encyclopedia of knowledge, that's sort of where, is that where he's going with this?
It'll be closely related. One of the things that we'll have to be careful with all the way through being an event is that there's this desire maybe on our part to want to take what he's doing with ontology and to generalize it really quickly and say that's how it works in all cases and so forth. He's going to make an argument like that at the end, but it's going to be very, very nuanced.
Okay.
We're going to find the trace of subjectivity in ontology, but for him there can't be an actual ontological subject, meaning within ontology. You could have a subject who does mathematics, a mathematical subject, if you will, right?
Okay.
But there isn't within being a subject, there can be. But we'll find a function within mathematics that is kind of like the ontological, what's the word?
Foundation.
Analog, of a subject.